What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Maybe some of you have already seen the headline or the news, but apparently there is a full description from a leaked internal test screening of Avengers Doomsday with a ton of details from the film. We have the full text for you. We're of course going to issue the normal spoiler warning, read through it in full, try to annotate it or contextualize it with anything we already know about the film. And man, if any of this is true, it's a wild one, including some major moments for Sam Wilson's Captain America. We're breaking it all down, this apparent leaked internal test screening description for Avengers Doomsday. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel. Thanks to everyone who's been subbing lately and helped grow the channel. And if you haven't already, I just kindly invite you to do so. It's the number one thing you can do to support us. Plus, if you hit the sub button and leave a comment, it'll also automatically enter you for the giveaways. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so first up, the normal spoiler warning, and it's twofold when we cover this kind of content. First of all, remember to take everything that doesn't come directly from Marvel Studios with a grain of salt. Notice this was described as an internal test screening leaked description. That is different than when they do a test screening for audience members of the public for them to give their reaction to the film, and those are very generally where we start hearing leaked descriptions for details and people's opinions of what they saw. An internal test screening would be for those who work for Disney and Marvel, making it highly unlikely that these kind of details would come out. Still, that kind of thing has actually happened in the past, and during the early Multiverse Saga, when an internal test screening of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness actually correctly revealed the details that Professor X was killed by Scarlet Witch. So, all things considered, whether or not this ends up being true, whether or not you're susceptible to that kind of thing, or it's going to ruin your Doomsday experience, only you know that. I ain't mad at you. If you want to go into the unknown not knowing, back out now, come back and see us in the next video. In the meantime, let's dive right in again to this description of a quote-unquote internal test screening of Avengers Doomsday. The quote, film will include an epic sequence that serves as the connecting point for all MCU teams before the final battle. There is an on-screen timer counting down to the final collision between realities. During this sequence, it's revealed that the Avengers, the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four, the Wakandans, Namor, and the X-Men coordinate for the first time to defend Earth 616. Sam Wilson, Reed Richards, and Scott Summers' Cyclops develop a containment plan to halt the advance of Universe 828, whose collapsing Earth threatens to destroy the entire existence of Earth 616. Yelena Belova and Bucky Barnes travel to the raft to free prisoners, who end up joining the battle in New York. In parallel, Shang-Chi, She-Hulk, and other heroes travel to different parts of the planet, recruiting soldiers, wizards, and even villains with the help of Wong's mystical portals. The final battle takes place in New York, transformed into the planet's last bastion of defense. Amid the chaos, Peter Quill manages to contact the Guardians of the Galaxy, who arrive on Earth to reinforce the cosmic front. The sequence culminates with a speech by Sam Wilson, described as one of the most powerful moments in the MCU. Sam addresses everyone, heroes, soldiers, villains, and civilians, to remind them that they are not fighting for, quote, their own lives, but the idea of continuing to exist together and saving the planet. Now, okay, I would say this. I would say that this is written so ambiguously that there are a lot of versions of Avengers Doomsday that may in some way, size and scope, parts of the plot match up with, again, how ambiguous this is. Hey, all the teams come together, they fight to save Earth 616. On the other hand, there is some very specific stuff in here, like instead of it being the 1610 and the 616 from the Jonathan Hickman run, now it's the 828 in the 616. Still, the 828 is an interesting choice to have as the main incursion point between worlds with the 616, only because obviously the Ultimate's choice, the 1610 in the comics, were to have all the heroes from that universe fight against the heroes on the 616. We know that famously the 828, as we just witnessed and during the Fantastic Four, is basically devoid of any superheroes, so making that the main world we're going to collide with basically changes the story a lot. Also, all of the heroes and from other timelines like the X-Men from we assume the 10,005 all coming to the 616 and to protect it against the 828. I mean, maybe that's what happens, but it's not apparent that really any of the other heroes would want to protect any other timelines except for their own. But we do see, admittedly, at the end of the Thunderbolts, the Fantastic Four coming to the 616, and for some reason, we also know there may be ancient artifacts that are special among the multiverse on 616, like Shang-Chi's 10 rings or Miss Marvel's bangles that Doom may be after, and there's other reasons for that. We've covered at length in the channel. Still, we would expect multiple other locations, like we've heard in other unplausible plot leaks, to be fair, say like the TVA in an epic battle to take the throne that Loki is on now, while Loki has assembled his own group of multiverse Avengers to fight against Doom. To me, as fantastic as that was at the time, pun kind of intended, that at least matched up better with some of the plot leaks we've already seen from behind the scenes. For instance, we know that Thor's body double was at the entrance point in the TVA to where the loom used to be and presumably where Loki is now. Again, that plot leak, although it seemingly was unreal, lined up better with what we know is confirmed about the film than this overtly ambiguous description that we just read. Now, taking one step back, I would also say this. We know that they quote-unquote had a wrap party for the first round of principal photography. Assumably, if the stories are real about just how much footage they shoot over the length of the film, they are pouring over hundreds and hundreds of hours right now of what they've already shot, trying to make a version of the film so that they know what they need to do in reshoots. That's why where I would normally say, man, they don't have a cut of Avengers Doomsday yet, they might. Or what they might have is an initial cut of the principal photography that they shot, trying to work it into a position where they know exactly what they need to do for reshoots, and additional principal photography that reportedly wasn't supposed to start until after the first of next year in 2026, but with some of the actors already on set in London and shooting some of their scenes, we actually just heard a leak recently that Shuri is actually shooting right now when they said that they had wrapped on that principal photography. So they're still working on the movie and will be for quite some time. Saying that they've got a first look or a first cut wouldn't be exactly accurate in that it's the final movie, but a first cut, a preliminary look at the film for how it's supposed to flow, that could exist. Still, would they be screening that even internally? It's hard to tell, but what I will say, and I always bring this up, is how many details in here are specific? And as ambiguous as most of it is, not only do you have the 616 and the 828 designation, but you apparently have the speech by Sam Wilson, and that will be very easy to see whether or not that comes true, whether that moment actually comes to pass, and during Avengers Doomsday, and then again, only in the rearview mirror will we be able to tell if this leaked description was true. Still, I am skeptical that one even exists at this point, or that they would even be screening what first cut they may have. Still, you guys let me know all your thoughts down below in reaction to any and all of this, the quality of this description, whether or not this gets you hype, and what in the world Sam is going to say during this speech that's apparently going to be one of the most powerful moments in the MCU. That's saying quite a lot. I'm all ears as always. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. Alright, we're still giving away PlayStation 5s. The next one is for Wonder Man. We'll also give away comic book related stuff throughout the holiday season. If you want to be entered to win, super simple. All you got to do, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, live with my voice and the winning comment shown on screen when there is one. Please remember to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on to keep up with the videos. And of course, if you like today's video, hit the like button. My name is Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. Find me on all other platforms with original music under the name All Fires. Catch my band All Fires live in Tampa on November 15th in a couple of weeks. I'll see you guys there. Link down in the description and comments and tickets. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.